Hello and welcome back to another video. The Dr. Phil Show is known for some colorful guests who make the show entertaining and fun to watch. As for Dr. Phil, he isn't that entertaining, but he still manages to pull the strings. Over the years, many contestants have owned the stage on the show. Bad Baby might be the biggest example, but there were plenty more. In this video, we look at the contestants who owned Dr. Phil. Stay tuned! Before we start with the video, however, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Turn on the bell for the latest notifications and updates. This way you will never miss another video. With that said, let's jump straight into today's video. The guest who could do no wrong. This young woman went on the Dr. Phil show at the request of her family, who wanted her to get her issues solved and clean up her life and attitude. Now, some people don't like it when someone tells them they're wrong, and this guest wanted to be seen as what she really was. One thing we need to mention about her is that she was a drug addict who stole cars. On the show, when she was asked by Dr. Phil why she seemed so visibly riled up, the young woman gave him the most savage response ever, telling him that she was mad at herself for agreeing to do the whole show in the first place, as she only felt attacked on the show and nothing more. That should hurt. She basically told Dr. Phil that everything about her show is awful and that she'd rather be anywhere else but on the show. The Feisty Sisters. Dr. Phil had little control over two feisty sisters who appeared on the show to discuss their anger issues. One tried to explain an incident that took place at a nail salon where her sister lost her temper unnecessarily, but the other sister wasn't going to take that lying down and began yelling over her sibling and Dr. Phil. Phil was being cut out from the discussion entirely, so he cut in to show a segment where he secretly filmed them backstage. In the scene, one of the sisters, Nancy, was getting her hair done. She completely laid into the stylists employed by Dr. Phil to get her stage ready. She wasn't happy with anything. The makeup, the way her hair was done, and made sure the stylists knew about it, completely bulldozing them and tearing down their work. Sometimes it's not just Dr. Phil that gets owned, the production staff too aren't safe from guests. This rant didn't paint the guests in a good light at all, and eventually highlighted her anger issues. In-law drama. Dr. Phil has seen his fair share of daughter-in-law and mother-in-law drama, but this guest was something different. This woman wasn't going to have any of it, as when Dr. Phil tried to analyze her, she rolled her eyes and basically told him that what he was saying was complete rubbish. After all, he didn't have any clue as to what it felt to be like her. Mother-in-law was least interested in answering Dr. Phil's question and instead spoke to the audience, telling them that her son was not the person they were all seeing. Phil tried his best to swing back the conversation, but it was a little too late. Daughter-in-law drama. After the mother-in-law drama, it makes complete sense to have a sister-in-law who owns Dr. Phil and his show. In this next one, a woman went on the show to air her differences with her soon-to-be mother-in-law and sister-in-law. It was hell on stage from the start. Marisa was foaming at the mouth, waiting for the opposite guest to come out from the backstage, and was fully backed up by her mother. When the doc tried to shut Marisa down, her mom intervened and said that as much as she respected Phil, she would do what her daughter wanted her to do even more. That was a slap in the face for Dr. Phil. The doc did manage to get some control later on in the show, but that was until the fiance burst onto the stage ready to kick some ass. Phil schooled her a little bit on how he expected her to conduct herself, and she smiled and agreed before instantly telling him to shut up with a few cuss words thrown in. That brings us to the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.